I want to wrap up the show. We have to talk about Major League Soccer because the playoffs are coming soon. There's about for some teams we have about maybe 4 to 6 matches remaining. You gotta love a balanced schedule. It's always great. But
there's 35,000 teams. So.
It is crunch time. I mean, some of the, obviously everybody's paying attention more probably to the Eastern Conference, even though the Western Conference is incredibly strong.
This is the first year where I think no one cares about the Supporter Shield. We just care, is Messi going to make it?
Is Messi going to be in the playoffs? Am I going to watch it?
FC Cincinnati's like, hey, we're having a record season. Sporting St. Louis is like, we could have the greatest, record by a first-year team. And everyone's like, yeah. Is Messi going to be playing for an extra couple of weeks or not?
That's all they care about, bro.
And by the way, the playoffs are best of 3 series for the first round.
The first round, that's right. And it's not best of 3. Oh, it's sort of, but it is
best of 3.
It is best of 3, but it is the games have to end with a winner. So it's like Leagues Cup rules or whatever.
But remember when it was like best of 2 and it was home and away, and we're like, that's too much. And they're like, all right, we'll do single game elimination, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, how about this? You guys didn't like 2, you loved 1. How about if it's 3? Well, we just add the 2 of those up.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. I mean, I'm a little.
I was having a conversation with someone, and I was like, wait a minute. The reason they did this is because playoffs are a ratings bonanza, but ratings don't matter anymore. You're behind a paywall.
Oh yeah, I guess. I'm more subscribers, I guess. Like if they get maybe the strategy is.
You think people are like, is that? Oh my God, home away home? Well, that's even better than Messi.
It's like, will it get more subscribers if there's simply more games on? You're right. I mean, it's just like a.
Maybe. Only if Messi makes it. If Messi make it into the playoffs,
yeah.
Then Messi's it's smart to have this set up.
So it's interesting, right? So Inter Miami drew against Orlando City last night. And
without anybody on the team that you recognize if you are a new subscriber.
Sure, but look, these guys, they look pretty good. Orlando's in second place in the Eastern Conference, and Inter Miami really held their own.
Shit, they didn't look great against NYCFC. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Okay, well, all right. we'll talk about that a little bit.
You took a L over here, bro.
But they looked pretty sharp, and it's a lot of these young players that are really stepping up, and I'm sure it's with no Busquets, no Alba, no Messi, different players have to really step into important roles. And Ruiz, I believe it was the one that got the goal.
David Ruiz.
I forgot his first name, but they looked pretty comfortable, even though Orlando probably should have won the game and they had some really good chances. We haven't spoken about this guy at all, but the rookie for Orlando City, Duncan McGuire,
oh my God,
is an
incredible.
Absolute beast.
He's got 9 goals already.
I apologize for not having spoken about him much this season, but he really has been spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I think, also a big reason why Orlando is in the position that they're in.
I think Orlando's admins had a big day.
Yeah, they had a lovely time because this was.
I honestly, I hate to say this, but this still feels like it's part of the Cooligans effect.
The Bants?
Yeah, dude. Remember when we started, we were the only ones doing banter. Remember, these teams would get in trouble left and right if they did stuff like this.
Right. So if you haven't seen, Orlando City, obviously they knew their rivals coming into town. Before the game started, they did like the fan cam and put the camera on different Inter Miami fans, but they put little captions under everybody's
full roast of anyone wearing anything related to Messi.
Exactly. So this is Adrian Viveros, who at Adrian_Viveros.
Shouts to Freddie Alarcon for tagging us in this.
For a couple people hit me up.
Mad people sent this to me.
But this is just great. This is entertaining. And so we're looking at a guy wearing an Inter Miami kit, and it says, quote unquote, lifelong Inter Miami fan since June of 2023.
Incredible. He's sitting next to a guy in an Orlando shirt and a dude wearing a Bape shirt, which is, does it get more Miami or Orlando than this?
And then the next one says, is 3 Inter Miami fans, and it says, can name exactly 3% of Inter Miami's roster. This is a proper roast.
This is a good
It's
good
how
roast.
You get them. And next one, this is people in Argentina kits, and it says, quote, is confused why no one on the field is wearing blue and white stripes. So this is good.
Great.
Love to see it.
This is a Barca jersey, and it says, thinks Inter Miami is the minor league affiliate for Barcelona.
I mean, are you wrong, though?
Yeah, son. You might have hit the nail on the head. Also, he looks like he's doing like a Barca manager cosplay, does he not? This guy does he not look like he managed Barcelona and like just before Pep Guardiola took over?
Sure. No, so this was great. You love the banter. It's a bummer.
This is how you handle it if you are a team where Messi is coming in and maybe stealing a little bit of your spotlight. You got to roast your fans.
You do, but also, I mean, it's not their fans. They're roasting.
Oh, some of these people are normally Orlando fans, but they're Messi stans.
Yeah. So, but the
only reason I say it is because they seem to be sitting with Orlando fans.
Yeah.
It might be like the dad who's like, well, I don't care. I'm here to see Messi. Love you, Oscar Pereira, but I'm here to see Messi.
I think this is a good way to handle the fact that Messi wasn't playing, right?
Yeah.
Like this is, I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed by the fact that they probably spent a ton of money on tickets to go see Messi play.
Well, enjoy downtown Orlando.
Okay, so Inter Miami do get a point in the game, but really it seems the focus is going to be for the U.S. Open Cup final, which is on Wednesday. Which is on is it Golazo Network on CBS?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Okay, so you go. Make sure you tune in. So obviously,
they got a stack lineup too for that.
A trophy on the line.
Dude, Micah Richards is supposed to be there. Could you imagine that guy?
Micah is like a Messi fan. Like he's like nuts about Messi.
He's gonna have to talk about Houston Dynamo.
Okay, you better start learning about some of these dudes.
Google Ben Olsen real quick.
But clearly the concern right now is about Messi and Alba's injuries, and are they going to be? They're being very tight-lipped. We've kind of spoken about this already, but I think the main question is, are Inter Miami going to qualify for the playoffs? But who is going to qualify for the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference? Because my concern right now, because we were all saying, especially after the game against Red Bull, like that's it. Inter Miami are going to qualify for the playoffs, and I don't see it. Now the injuries have me concerned. If it was just Messi out, I'd be like, okay, I think they can do it, but I don't think they can do it.
Nico said this morning that if they win the U.S. Open Cup, that's true trophies, and that's what a great season. I still think you're leaving MLS Cup on the table, and I think if you're Apple and if you're MLS executives, you're thinking that is not a great season.
And we've heard how Don Garber feels about the U.S. Open Cup.
They're playing Campeones Cup games during this game.
Unreal. Oh, that's right. LAFC against Tigres is
and there's a regular season MLS match during this game.
Yeah. So I mean, look, when it comes to the U.S. Open Cup is a competitor to Major League Soccer. It is not.
It shouldn't be treated that way.
It shouldn't be treated, but
it's a competitor to Campeones Cup and Leagues Cup.
Yeah. Everybody wants people to tune in, and they're all fighting for the same advertising dollars and stuff like that. And U.S. Open Cup is not. It's not an MLS affiliated competition. Right. It is independent of. What U.S. Open Cup is like the grassroots.
It's the FA Cup.
It's the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And
it's the FA Cup. To quote Pep.
And it should have that level of reverence and importance to American soccer fans. And for some, it does. But for probably Apple and MLS that are trying to just be the main show when it comes to soccer in this country.
If it's a loss for Apple that a Messi final is not on there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not behind their paywall. So it's a little rough.
So
it works for CBS. Shouts to the home team.
CBS show out here.
We make it. You see NBC is like, we got it too. It's in Spanish, but we got it too.
So it is a concern as far as Inter Miami in the playoffs, and I think if they even for the U.S. Open Cup final, because we can give our predictions, but if Messi doesn't play the 90 minutes, can they still win? They're playing at home. Inter Miami is playing at home, so
I actually think Busquets and Jordi Alba maybe are a bit more important to this win than Messi. I think if there's a chance you make it to the playoffs, you take Messi out early if you're winning or if you're losing by a lot. But I do think you leave a little meat on the bone if you don't make it to the MLS Cup playoffs.
Yeah, it would.
It's a real sort of miss.
Yeah, we're looking at the table. Look, we're NYCFC fans. We don't hide that.
It'd be hilarious if NYCFC is what keeps them out.
NYCFC is playing Inter Miami this weekend on Saturday. It's just such a tremendously important game for both teams.
In Miami. And you expect that that's not going to be enough of a turnaround after this U.S. Open Cup, especially now with all your players are 35.
So this is, look, NYCFC desperately needs the points.
They're a bit on an uptick.
Yeah,
I'm willing to say.
But Inter Miami have games in hand. There are other teams that have games in hand against them, beneath them. DC United, they're even on games, but Rebels have a game in hand. Chicago has a game in hand. Charlotte has 2 games in hand. So does Inter Miami. Toronto is officially
they're out.
They're out of the playoff contention, but they've been in a nightmare this season. But this game is just so huge. And again, because I would normally probably not favor NYCFC here, but the fact that Inter Miami have the Open Cup final on Wednesday, I don't see them getting 3 points against NYCFC Saturday.
It's NYCFC on the road.
It is, but I don't see them getting 3 points. If NYCFC can get a draw is a win for NYCFC.
If NYCFC gets a draw, they will be one of the most hated teams in the league and by the executives.
Don Garber comes on the field. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Don't you know how we all get money?
Nashville SC they're on 44 points in 7th. They're probably not budging. I don't see that. Moving.
It's CF Montreal down.
Montreal, and
it's crazy that Inter Miami to CF Montreal could still make it into the playoffs.
Right.
It's crazy.
I think the hardest part for Inter Miami isn't the number of points. It's just that there's so many teams in between them that they need to jump and have them drop points.
But they can. But
it's only 5 points.
They play Chicago. They play out NYCFC. They play Charlotte twice.
True.
This is perfectly set up with a healthy Inter Miami. They are in the playoffs. It's a favorable schedule, but they need Messi to play. They need their players to get through it, but it's going to be really hard. They already won a trophy, got to the U.S. Open Cup final. Messi, muscle fatigue, and all this stuff. There's a lot against them, so I don't know if they can do it. It's gonna be the Robert Taylors, the Benjamin Kremaski,
the DeAndre Yedlins,
bro, the Edson Ascona, the Dominican player,
Facundo Farias scoring from his hip again.
So it's gonna be very, very challenging, but it's fascinating. Like now, it's feeling a little bit like a relegation battle that we're used to seeing in England or in other countries, because is Messi going to get relegated out of the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like the DC United Rebel game was insane.
Christian Benteke gets a hattie and it don't even matter.
And then they lose 5-3. I'm like, what? How could they defend so poor? How did they score?
Bro, this is a team that could not score in the Rebels, and you gave up 5 goals.
I mean, look, if NYCFC or DC or Rebel or Chicago, it's just the fact that Inter Miami is right there and could qualify, and if they miss it, and we have to watch the Rebels in the playoffs lose and disappoint their fans again.
Yeah.
People will be more upset than ever.
The amount of subscriptions canceled.
Bro. So entertaining to say the least. And then there was the Western Conference had the late game, Austin against LA Galaxy, which was just a 3-3 game that started at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time.
I was fast asleep.
Bro, I saw the tweet. It was like, the game will be starting in 10 minutes. I was like, yo, they have to be joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that guy.
I'm wearing my nightcap.
It's like that guy during the Iraq War was like, everything's fine, and there's bombs going off behind him.
That was a wild one, and LA Galaxy, another team I would love to see make the playoffs, and they scored a late goal. Both the LA Galaxy and Austin have just been just kind of a wreck this season. But an entertaining game, another MLS After Dark that we seem to always get from time to time.